What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande, bringing you the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS live stream here for Wednesday's main slate. James, it is a massive NBA slate today. There's a ton of injury news to get to, but first, you just told me before we jumped on air that you think Honeydew Melon is the best melon of all the melons, which I think is an absolute horrible take. In my opinion, Honeydew Melon is easily one of the worst. There's a reason why if you ever go to one of the grocery stores and you get sort of that like free pre-cut fruit pack, they just jam it loaded with like cantaloupe on honeydew because they can't sell it. The only thing they can do is include it with other better fruit like purple grapes and watermelon and pineapple, which, you know, for me, would rank the top three of fruits if we're going in that direction here. Watermelon.
Oh my God.
Red grapes for me, number two. And Fuji apples, well, number three, but they're not part of the medley of fruits. So I just had to get that off my chest because I was stunned to know as long as I've worked with you and you're a honeydew melon fan. So,
I mean, how would you? What's your melon power rankings? Because I'd go honeydew and watermelon 1A, 1B, and then there's like a large gap, and then there's three, and it's still not cantaloupe, and then like.
Well, cantaloupe, does the cantaloupe count as a melon? I don't know. I
mean, it's like always together, right?
I'm just talking about garbage fruits, and cantaloupe is just getting ricocheted here with the same shot. But yeah, honeydew sucks. Anyways, let's get to some NBA. Again, there is a lot to get to. Injuries, most notably, big names on the slate. De'Aaron Fox, we know, is still out. Donovan Mitchell is out. Trae Young is out. Colin Sexton is out. Mike Conley's out. Kemba Walker is out. Marcus Smart suspended tonight for using aggressive language, abusive language, threatening language against an official. LaMelo Ball is still out. Derek White out for tonight as well. Kendrick Nunn is questionable. Tyler Hero is questionable. Brandon Goodwin is questionable as well. Let's see what else we got here for injuries as I run down the list. Who am I missing? Zach LaVine, we know, is still out. Anthony Davis is going to play. Kawhi Leonard is doubtful. I imagine he's not going to play. Let's see what else we got. Harrison Barnes is out. We know Gordon Hayward is still out. Kevin Huerter is just ruled out, right, James? So
yep.
Huerter is out there. Terrence Ross is out. Will Barton remains out. Larry Nance is out. Torian Prince is out. Serge Ibaka continues to be out of the lineup. Otto Porter continues to be out of the lineup. Tyler Hero is questionable. Contavious Caldwell-Pope is probable for tonight. Marvin Bagley is doubtful. And Harrison Barnes is out too. So they're shorthanded in their front court. Malik Monk remains out. Nick Batum is questionable. So going to be out shorthanded front court for the Clippers tonight as well. James Johnson, I think, he's probable. Okay, he was out the other day. Torian Prince, we know, is out. Am I missing any other major names here? Monty Morris, we know, has been out. Hartenstein is out. Jay Crowder's out. I think that's what we're missing right there. Anything else there, James, for you?
You mentioned the Kings front court shorthanded. Rashawn Holmes could still be limited. He only played 25 minutes the other day, so it could be really shorthanded without Barnes, Bagley, and limited Holmes.
All right, we have the playbook today done by Sean Mitchell. So let's kind of get into where his top plays are for today. 10-game slate. He's got Russell Westbrook at home against the Lakers as his top price point guard. If we're looking at the draft forecast percentage, kind of following suit there. It's a large slate. A lot of talent, obviously, on this slate. Definitely some other spend-up potentials, but, I mean, it's Russell Westbrook, man.
Yeah, it's Russell Westbrook, man. And he is the clear-cut number one spend. There isn't another guy over 93 on DraftKings. Dame Lillard is the next healthy name. De'Aaron Fox, LeBron, Mitchell, Trae Young, all out. So, I think Westbrook, if you want to spend up at point guard, is fine. I'm looking at John Morant, though. He's my top point guard of the day. He has torched Portland twice this year. Right. He's averaged 30 actual and 54 fantasy points against them. And right now, John, this is the best version of John Morant we've gotten all year. And it's clear he has taken it upon himself to be better. Right. The arrival of Jaren Jackson has opened things up for him as well. So it's really hard not to like John Morant. 8,200, not a price that we've spent or seen much of with John Morant, but he's still worthy of the tag based on recent production and matchup.
On FanDuel, we see Dame Lillard at $8,100. Is it starting to get to a point where you just play Dame? Obviously, when he's 9K, 10K, it's harder when he's not giving you 50, 60 every night. But, now he needs a 40-point floor on FanDuel just to hit 5X. He gets this matchup against Memphis. He just went for 43 fantasy points against them just the other day. Are we interested in Dame here still, or I'm just not yet because the price is still a little too high?
Look, man, this is a guy who is a better shooter and a better scorer than we've seen. And as well as I do, we both haven't played the guy at all. Right. He's been a 9K, haven't touched it. 8,100 though is really intriguing. He's still taking a lot of shots outside of last night against Indiana because they blew Indiana out. He didn't need to. He's just missed everything. He hasn't shot above 40% outside of last night since the 10th of this month. And then that was actually he has shot 40% or better 3 times this month. That is it. We know he's a better shooter than that. He's shooting 43% on the year. He's shooting 37% from 3 on the year. And he's shooting 36% his last 4 games, 33 from 3. Positive regressions on the way. I think you take a shot on him in tournaments. I think that's silly. The price tag is silly. We know we're going to get one of those turn back the clock Dame outings. Just because Norm Powell and Nurkic are healthy doesn't mean he still can't go off. And 8,100 is worth taking a shot at in tournament.
Pick your guard. Terry Rozier without Marcus Smart now, or Darius Garland without Colin Sexton next to him going up against Orlando?
Yeah, I'd probably go Garland. It's close. I get the Rozier thing. Revenge narrative. If you want to go there, yeah. I think that's worth noting because Boston didn't want to pay him. I would like to note.
Traded him for Kemba.
Right. I would like to note Rozier now a shooting guard, small forward. On right. DraftKings,
right?
Because that's what he plays now.
Is Graham a center on DraftKings?
No, but that is in the works. I've looked into the future. He is going to be power forward center in no time. I'd probably go Garland without Sexton, knowing how depleted Cleveland is as a whole, and knowing how bad the Cole Anthony led backcourt defensively is in Orlando. So I'll go Garland. They're both excellent plays. But Garland is a little cheaper, at least on DraftKings.
Have you broken out the Derrick Rose jersey at all lately? I'm sure maybe sleeping next to it, seeing vintage form here out of him recently, and now he's got a matchup against Chicago. 36-39 fantasy points the last 2 games for D Rose. He's $6,200 on FanDuel. And kind of an interesting little tier here as well. Cole Anthony, 64, Kobe White, 63, Derrick Rose, 62 on FanDuel tonight.
Yeah, I actually stare at not my jersey, John, my Derrick Rose Top Shot moment on my ceiling. It's projecting to my ceiling above my bed.
I believe it.
Shout out to Bree for
putting
up
disco ball. It just kind of like,
Yep. Yeah. The moment just replays. It's a nice reverse layup. That's when we flip the switch off, that's what appears. So,
makes sense.
But yeah, I have to love him in another revenge narrative against Chicago. I think Derrick Rose is an excellent play. And Cole Anthony. Do I think Cole Anthony is actually a good player? I think it remains to be seen. But he has all the opportunity in the world right now with this Orlando team. So continue to play him in all formats. I think you could trust Cole Anthony in cash games, tournaments, whatever you like.
If we're looking value, which sticks out to you the most at point guard?
Campazzo. They're depleted. That backcourt is completely reeling, and they get a tremendous spot against New Orleans. I understand Austin Rivers is there, and he, for whatever reason, is playing a whole bunch of minutes, but they've blown people out the last 2 games, and I don't expect Austin Rivers to continue to play 28 minutes. But Campazzo's played 30-plus minutes in each of those 2 games, so I'm going there in the value tier.
All right. Over at the shooting guard position, Sean has Paul George. Really hurt us all the other day.
Yeah.
Really hurt us all the other day.
Foul trouble, and yeah.
Yeah. And now it's a matchup against Phoenix, who, you got to think a lot of Mikal Bridges is going to be thrown at him in this matchup. $9,900, $9,800 FanDuel and DraftKings. Bradley Beal is below him at 95 and 10K. So long lived the under 9K Bradley Beal days. How do you rank those two as the top of the shooting guard?
I mean, PG has been good against Phoenix this year. As good of a defensive unit they are. He shot 63% in 2 games, 73% from 3. He's taken 19 threes against them in 2 games. And he's averaged 36 actual and 54 fantasy points. So I'm going to still go George if there's no Kawhi Leonard. We probably won't know that. Obviously, that's one of the late night hammers. So we won't know, but I will go Paul George in tournaments. And I think Beal's fine for cash games. I mean, look at the last 9 games, 41 or more DraftKings points. The last 4 games, 50, 47, 49, 53. So 10K, nice and steady cash games, and I'll go Paul George in tournaments.
It feels like there are a couple obvious plays, especially FanDuel tonight, who are shooting guard eligible. You have Tyrese Halliburton at $7,000 tonight, and you have Jordan Clarkson, no Conley, no Donovan Mitchell at $6,300. Would you mind skipping the top tier and just playing them two? Do you prefer one over the other?
I mean, I'm going to lean Clarkson because obviously he gets the flip side. Like, he gets Halliburton defensively, and he gets whoever else they have to throw at Clarkson,
probably
whether it be DeLon Wright.
Probably Ingles.
So I like Clarkson more. We know he's a high usage player. I love to see the 8 assists that he had last game. He's actually now had 5 or more in 2 straight, which isn't his game, but maybe we see that more without Mitchell, without Conley. So I lean Clarkson, and I think Halliburton is a good play. We saw, look at the minutes have been there. The shot attempts have been there. He's really someone who can fill the box score. So I think Halliburton's more of a tournament play. I think Clarkson you could use for any format you'd like.
Some value for tonight. I already mentioned Kevin Huerter's out. Brandon Goodwin questionable. Lou Will out the other night, $5,400. This is they're depleted in that backcourt right now. If Goodwin sits too. Would you take a look at Lou Will at 54? And then Evan Fournier now probably starts with Marcus Smart out. He's 4,900.
I mean, he started the other night too, Fournier.
Yeah.
And I know everyone was out last night, rather.
He did last night with Tatum and Walker out. Yep.
Right. So he likely starts again, and he's 53, man. I mean, he's going to be third fiddle here behind Tatum and Brown. And, Brown had quite the workload last night. So You don't know how he's necessarily feeling with the knee. So, I like Fournier 5,300. I mean, we're used to paying $6K for the guy. So I think this is a pretty good discount for an offense that has, for the most part, had 3 guys and been able to carry the workload. So I don't think there should be any difference here with Fournier as opposed to Kemba or Smart. So, I like Fournier quite a bit at 53.
What about Lou Will tonight?
Yeah, Lou Will, perfectly fine. I mean, look, they don't have any wings. They have no wings. Huerter's out. Reddish is out. DeAndre Hunter's out. Maybe, if Bogdan doesn't play...
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, if Bogdan's out too?
So I will say, John, they did make it a point to say that Chris Dunn's minute limit will be increased. I don't know what that means. He played 13 in his debut.
Right.
Will that mean 20? Does that mean 25? Obviously, if these guys sit, he's going to have to play 20.
And Dunn's not there for offense. He's there for defense.
But Dunn's not there for offense, right. So, yes, I think Lou Will is an excellent value. He's taken double-digit shots in every game he's played with Atlanta, and he's played low to mid-20s. If he gets 30 minutes, we could be talking about a guy who's approaching 20 shot attempts tonight. Yeah,
for sure. Small forward position at the top here. We're taking a look at buckets. Jimmy Butler against San Antonio, $9,500 across the board. Again, a guy for me, he can pop, he has that GPP upside. I think he's fine for cash, but again, I'm looking more towards the mid-tier tonight, starting with our MVP, Michael Porter Jr.
Sean, you hear that? You hear that? Yep.
That'd be painful for him to write up, how 43, 57, 46 fantasy points the last 3 games. Eat your heart out, Sean Mitchell. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, he shoots from everywhere. He scores from everywhere. He's efficient from everywhere. He can rebound. He's not good defensively. He's very bad, but he is, in terms of DFS, provides
6 blocks the last 3 games.
Look. I mean, it's just because he can block a shot doesn't mean he's a great defender. I mean, I don't think Marcus Smart blocks like 2 shots a game, and we consider Marcus Smart an elite defender. So I don't think that is the tell-all. But for fantasy, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I'm more than happy with that. But yeah, I mean, this guy, obviously Jokic is the number 1 option, but like there are nights like recent where he's gone 26, 39, 31. Well, Michael Porter Jr. looks like the number 1 offensive option right now. So
Jokic did say he needed to be more involved like 3 months ago.
3 months. 3 months ago, we've been talking about this for 3 months, and you know what? The time is now. He gets one of the probably 5 best matchups on a given slate against the Pelicans, who are a bottom 5 defense. Yeah, so I mean, it's lock and load for me. Now, here's the thing, John. We don't need to talk about FanDuel. 7,700, it's a lock and load. Does 8,600 worry you at all? Like, we're looking for what? Like 42, 43 fantasy points for 5x?
Yeah.
Which he's topped in 3 straight games. So, like, I'm not saying he can't do it, but does it worry you at all? Or are you just like, it's the Pelicans, like nothing's going to change?
Yeah, it's a 230.5 game total with a 4-point spread. So, yeah, sign me up. That's the second, I think, highest spread of the slate. Obviously, Portland, Memphis at 240. Just an obvious matchup to look to stack here. But no, Michael Porter Jr. is fine. I think he's good in all formats for me. And then, as much as I've loved Michael Porter Jr. since he was basically drafted, I'm a Miles Bridges guy. I was playing him a lot last year. Yeah. Double doubles in 2 of 3. Production keeps on flying through the roof here. 7,100 now. Price continues to go up on FanDuel, but I have no problem running it back here with some Miles Bridges rather.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love 7,400, but if he's going to keep producing, he's going to keep producing, right? Like that's the bottom line because Miles Bridges says so.
Right. Yep. I got the joke. I'm just gonna let it go.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Yeah. So that's fun. So those guys are over 7K. On FanDuel, I think again we take a look at the Utah players. Joe Ingles is 61, and Bojan is down to 52. So like.
Yeah, that's easy. That's so easy.
Send Sacramento.
Too easy. Look, he's not gonna go 1 for 11. He went 1 for 11. Let's just move past it. Look at the 7 games prior for Bojan. Guy has been lighting it up. Shout out Justin Fensterman and Bojan kind of look alike. I hope you know. All right, whatever, dude. Just let's get this over with because nothing I say is nothing pleases you tonight. This is crazy. Honeydew
I'm
now
so
Bojan.
Shocked by your honeydew melon take. So
yes,
it's kind of hurting me there. Any interest in Hachimura at 4,200 on FanDuel?
I mean, he played 30 minutes the other night. I don't love the matchup. Like, it's going to be so slow. Like, the Wizards are getting such a slow down environment. I think you can on FanDuel 4,200. I think that price stands out. 53, I don't think we need to go there. 42, though, I think does stand out.
The forever debate, power forward, Randall, Davis, or Zion. They're all the same price, except for Davis, who's $9,200. And the much cheaper option on DraftKings. But FanDuel, they're all like the same player. So
I'll say this. You asked me on the podcast, I believe it was Monday, do I think that Anthony Davis is going to be impacted by Andre Drummond? The answer is, I mean, it's a small sample. The answer is yes.
He did have 8 rebounds at least. I was encouraged by that.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's only going to get worse from here when LeBron comes back, right? Like, it's just.
Oh, I'm not talking about from here. We're not talking about tonight.
I'm just saying that. He's been impacted. I don't want 8 rebounds from Anthony Davis. I'm paying 9,500.
No, but you need 30 points and not 18. So
fair.
It's the Wizards. Just asking. I actually thought you were going to talk about Randall. I love Randall tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm poo-pooing on Davis, so I have to like one of the other two.
True. That's fair.
I would rank Randall, Zion, Davis.
Does Tatum fit in that mix for you all? They're the only 4 above 8K on FanDuel.
Yeah, because ankle BS.
Yeah, it was just a rest day.
It was a rest day, and he's coming off 38-10 the night before, or the game before. So, yeah, I mean, it's Charlotte. We kill Charlotte front courts. PJ Washington, whether or not he's playing well offensively, has been a liability defensively all year, and that's why Charlotte's bottom 10 against power forwards. So, yeah, I think Tatum fits in. I probably even put Tatum ahead of Davis, honestly.
Okay. Do you go back to your John Collins play? I know you love him.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, what is there? Like, who's there? And if and when.
I mean, we've been feeling that about him though for a bit, and he just hasn't come through.
I mean, it's not an easy matchup. The minutes continue to kind of fluctuate between like 27 and 31, and that's obviously not great. But I'm not playing John Collins in cash. I'd take a shot on him in tournaments. He has an elite usage rate without Trae Young, elite fantasy point per minute output without Trae Young. So I'm going to continue to go back to that well in tournaments, and it will pay off, I think, tonight's night.
Do you think Jaren Jackson's worth spending money for? 6,200. We talked about the 240 game total. Only 20 minutes the other day against Denver. He
got blown out. He got blown out. He was in foul trouble. The foul trouble thing is concerning because he's always been foul happy, and we've seen in 3 games 5, 4, and 5 fouls. I don't think there's a guy on Portland, though, that worries me unless he gets matched up with Nurkic. That could be a little concerning. You can. Do I think we need to go there? No. Can you in tournaments? Sure.
Where else are we looking in this mid or value tier at the power forward position?
I mean, Daniel Tice, I think, would be the guy for me who still boggles my mind that the Bulls just got him for free. 32 minutes, 23, 12, 5, 2 blocks last game against the Heat. Was a one-man wrecking crew. We've attacked the Knicks in the front court all year. Justin Fenster would be proud of this call. If you're watching out there, Fancy, I know you just shed a tear. But Daniel Tice, 4,600 on DraftKings, coming off a monster game, and they're playing him. He's played over 25 minutes in a whole bunch of games in a row. It's a good matchup. I love Daniel Tice tonight.
All right, let's show on over to the center position here. It's Jokic against the Pelicans, right? Like just your chalk play tonight. If we're looking to fade the chalk, what's your top center here?
I think I like Jared Allen, and I like the minutes Jared Allen has been playing lately. I like the fact that they don't have anyone else. Like, they're going to be forced to continue to play Jared Allen. Everyone's out, and Orlando's hurt. Wendell Carter is healthy for Orlando, and when he was the starting center in the Bulls, they were dead last in DVP for the last, 2 years that he was active. So I like him, and honestly, I like Wendell Carter on the flip side, back up to 28 minutes last time out. So I think those two guys, for me, stand out in the mid-tier.
Go back to the Hernan goat if Adams is out. 30 minutes the other day.
We do, and John, we have breaking news. Bogdanović will not play. Brandon Goodwin will play.
Okay.
So Goodwin in, Bogdanović out. So Lou Will, I think, is a lock and load at $4,500.
Yeah. Lou Will seems good. Collins, Gallinari probably.
Gallo.
Another guy that you can definitely expect probably a bump. Gallo, do you think Gallo starts at small forward tonight?
Either him,
like Snell maybe. Is somebody Snell?
No, Snell is out. I think it would be Solomon Hill, who's been playing a whole bunch of minutes. Solomon Hill, 29 or more minutes in 9 straight games. So I think if anyone, it would be Solomon Hill.
Okay.
I'm interested how this starting lineup does. I wonder if they would start like Dunn, or if they would just say, screw it, let's just start Lou Will. Right. I don't know how they're going to approach it, but it's going to be an ugly Hawks team. I guess how do we approach it, John? Like, Philly healthy? Are they just Atlanta's just gonna get blown out? Like, Philly is fully healthy. Everyone is active for Philly tonight, except potentially Mike Scott. Is that a game even worth? It's a 10-game slate. Like,
Yeah.
I know Atlanta's cheap, but do we need to like?
Well, I mean, they're so depleted. Like, guys have to play, right? So I guess
The guards probably, right?
Yeah,
the
well, the
guards
guards.
more than their.
Yeah, I'd probably stay away from Collins and Capella, and go the rest. You know, the
Goodwin. Yeah,
Goodwin,
Goodwin.
Lou maybe, and Gallinari would probably be the three guys for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably where I would go. Any final thoughts here before we wrap this one up?
Nope. An hour till roster lock. All the content's out, and yeah, we'll
we're
back again.
Chat, Twitter. Give us your favorite melon, and let us know that as well. And,
Honeydew, obviously.
We'll
Honeydew, obviously.
Yeah, we'll see. And we'll catch you guys next time.